Good evening, Titans. This is Mr. Simpson, and we're going to begin Chapter 4. And in this lesson, 4.1, we'll be talking about how to write equations in slope-intercept form. The essential question is, given the graph of a linear function, how can you write an equation of the line? Now, one of the definitions that we want to make sure you put down in your notes, so in your journal book under linear model, a linear model is a linear function or a linear equation that models a real-life situation. First thing we want to do is, it says write an equation of each line with the given slope and y-intercept. Now remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope and the b is our y-intercept. So if we look at letter A, the slope is a -3 and the y-intercept is 1/2. So we go y equals, the slope is a -3 times x plus the y-intercept of 1/2. For letter B, it says the slope is 0. So we have y equals slope of 0 times x, and then the y-intercept of a -2, so -2. Well, 0 times x is just 0, so this actually is just y equals a -2. So again, pretty simple to write an equation in slope-intercept form if you're given the slope and you're given the y-intercept. You substitute the slope in for m, the y-intercept in for b, and you're done. Now they want us to write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form given the graph. Well, in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form, we must first know the slope. So, again, when we're given the graph, there are two ways we can do it. We could make a triangle and count the squares, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on top for our rise, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 across for our run. And since it is a positive slope because it's going up and to the right, my slope is 3/2. Now we can also use the ordered pairs that are given to us and use the slope formula if we choose to, meaning the difference of the y, so 3 minus a -3 all over 4 minus 0. Keep change, and we get 6 over 4, which reduces to 3/2. And then all we need to know is the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept, remember, always has an x value of 0. So in this case, our y-intercept, or our b, is just a -3. So the equation of this line in letter A would be y equals 3/2 times x minus 3. And there's our answer to letter A. Now I'm going to erase this, so if you want to write this down, pause it for a moment, and then I'm going to erase. If we look at example B, again, we could go ahead and make the triangle here and count, it's not very good, squares again. And so if we look here, we go 1, 2, 3, so we're down here, and then we go across. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we went down 3 over 4, and since this is going downhill, it's a negative slope, so that's a -3 fourths. So our m is a -3 fourths. And if we look at this, the points that they give us right here, that is the y-intercept, because again, the y-intercept always has an x value of 0, so that means our b is equal to 2. So now I know my slope, and I know my y-intercept, so I can go ahead and write the equation of my line in slope-intercept form. And now the last type. Here, we're just given the 2 points. We're not given the graph. But we know if we have 2 points, we can find the slope by using the slope formula, y1 minus y2 all over x1 minus x2. So in this case, it would be 5 minus a -1 all over -3 minus 0. Keep, change, that gives us a +6. over a negative 3, which equals a negative 2. And again, this point right here is our y-intercept because it has the next value of 0. So that means our b is equal to a negative 1. And these are the two things we need to know. We need to know that our m is equal to and our b. So my equation is y equals a negative 2 times x minus 1. And there's the answer for letter A. Now again, I'm going to need to erase this, so if you want to pause this and make sure you get this written down in your notes before I erase it, that'd be a great idea. Now, in letter B, we're going to do the exact same thing. So again, we'll use a slope formula. So we subtract our y, so it's negative 5 minus a negative 5 all over 0 minus 8. Keep, change, so that gives us 0 on top over a negative 8. So that means my slope is 0. And then again, this is my y-intercept. So my b is a negative 5. So I'd have y equals 0 times x minus 5, but again with a 0 slope, that just makes that term go away. So this actually happens to be the horizontal line of y equals a negative 5. Now, here's a similar type of problem. It's just given to us in a different format. So remember, in this format, this value right in here represents our x value, and this value here represents our y. So that's actually the ordered pair 0, 10, an input of 0 and an output of 10. And this point, again, this would be my x, this would be my y, so I'd have 6, 34. So again, the first thing we have to do is find the slope. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the difference of the y, so 34 minus 10, all over 6 minus 0. That gives me 24 divided by 6, which is 4. So that equals my slope is 4. And again, this point right here represents my y-intercept, because if the x value is 0 and the y value is 10, then my b is equal to 10. So then my function would be f of x is equal to 4 times x plus 10. And this is, again, just like y equals mx plus b, but because they wanted us to write it as a linear function, we use f of x equals 4x plus 10. Alright, this last example, if we read through this, they're going to tell us that we're going to write an equation that will represents the number of megawatt hours generated by non-hydropower renewable energy sources as a function of the number of years since 2007. So in this first part, they tell us that we used 105 million, and if it's since 2007, that's going to represent 0 years past 2007. In 2012, that'd be 5 years later, and they've used 219. So these are our two ordered pairs. So again, if we go ahead and use this, we take 219 minus 105 all over 5 minus 0, and that gives us 114 over 5 is equal to our m. And again, this is our y-intercept. So we have y equals, and if I divide this out, this would be 22.8 times x plus 105. Now, if they want us to use this to determine and predict in 2017, well, that would be 10 years past 2007. So that means we'd substitute in for 10, or 10 in for x. So 22.8 times 10 would be 228 plus 105 would be 333 megawatt hours that we would be producing with non-hydropower renewable energy sources. Alright, again, make sure you took great notes. Review it if you need to. Make sure you use your notes now to go to page 99 in your student journal and try to complete problems 3, 6, 8, and 10. And have a great rest of your evening, Titans.